son. Where'd you find this?
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
A few moments later.
You are now listening to Podcast 42, the world's most popular, inaccurate, and sometimes squirreled retelling of pop culture history.
Transformers. Robots in disguise. On that note, it is time for Podcast 42.
Yay.
I'm Christopher DeVos.
I'm Nicole Fasone.
Me, Grimlock.
And I'm Faraz. Hey.
Why don't you say your last name?
What? What do you mean? Because it's...
Is it secretive?
I don't even know how to say your last name.
Well, yeah, sure. Let's...
Because they can
Why
find
would
you...
I want to make JL realize that he... You know, why would I draw attention to that? To people not being able to say my last name.
I actually didn't realize you had a last name until about a week or two ago.
Because if it's secretive, it's on the webpage. And it's in the Facebook group.
But it's just been like the thing that we've been doing since the beginning.
Okay. So it's just tradition.
Yeah.
All right.
Like me. I'm very traditional.
Tradition.
My mom asked if when you become a citizen, you'll still say A. And I said yes.
You're not a citizen?
No. I'm Canadian.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I'm still Canadian.
So you're here on a visa?
No. Why? This is getting very personal now.
Wow.
Is it dual citizenship?
All right, well...
I would still be a citizen then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll have to dive into this on a live show.
I know.
But instead, let's open up the beer cooler. Yeah.
JL beer cooler, it's cooler than you think. JL beer cooler, it's cool enough to drink. It's cool enough to drink, yeah.
Now, when you walked in with this beer, you said, I brought Dragon YumYums.
Yeah.
From
Dogfish head.
Dogfish, and then you put the beer in the fridge. And then I got into the fridge, and I looked at the beer, and it's in conjunction with the Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
And I got excited.
It's also dragons and YumYums, not Dragon YumYums.
Dragon YumYums.
No,
What are the
dragons
Flaming Lips?
and YumYums.
The
That's what
Flaming
it
Lips
says.
are a band.
Yeah, indie band, a real good band. Go listen to them.
They've been around for a very long time. They're very popular. They have a huge following.
Dragon YumYums is how you train your dragon. You want the dragon to, like, go potty outside, you give it Dragon YumYums when it does.
I believe that. That's just not what the bottle says. It says dragons ampersand YumYums.
I gotta tell you, I have a good feeling about this one.
Ooh.
I like the label, too.
Label's a 6
It's like an alien.
because it says Flaming Lips on it.
Yep, this is one of Dogfish Head's limited releases and all that. It's in conjunction with the Flaming Lip. You've never froze.
All right, we're back.
Well,
You can continue.
The label has a dragon-like creature being ridden by what appears to be a beholder from the Dungeons & Dragons universe.
It looks like Geodude from Pokemon.
That's the lead singer of the Flaming Lips riding that dragon.
He looks like the Pokemon
Yeah.
and the beholder.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about the band.
Where's
looks
lips,
like
though?
a
It's like
frog
one
alien.
eyeball with arms.
They're on fire.
this is weird.
What did you say that Pokemon's name was?
Geodude.
Yeah, I see that, too.
It's the rock with 2 arms.
All right, well, grab your pens and papers because it's time for our pop quiz. This week we're doing the Transformers.
Yay.
You don't have a pen?
I think Nicole.
Sorry.
And this pop quiz is called, I hope Optimus Prime finds this quiz semi-amusing, or Jazz Hands.
Am I?
Optimus Prime is a semi,
Oh,
and Jazz is one of the Transformers.
cool.
All right.
This will go well.
5 general knowledge facts on Transformers in order of the easiest to the hardest. To test your knowledge, score 1 point for each correct answer. No?
I did appreciate the costume, though. He's good.
Yes. For us, it's all about the costumes. We'll do more costumes when we take this to a live Facebook or
a location.
live
show.
location, yeah. All right, question 1. Before he was a Chevrolet Camaro, Bumblebee was what type of car? Before Michael Bay got his mitts on him,
Stupid Michael Bay.
Bumblebee was this type of car first. Question 2. The soul of the Transformers is called what? What is their soul called? The Nicole's been writing things down. I'm very, very proud.
Very.
Did you watch any Transformers leading up to this?
No.
Have you seen any of the movies?
Yes.
Okay.
What about the animated
That's great
movie?
research.
No.
The animated.
Question
animated movie's amazing.
3. What band requested to be part of the soundtrack on the original Transformers movie?
When did it come out?
90-something?
It was actually about 2003.
Was it 2003?
Yeah.
It was between 90-something and 2003.
What band requested?
Mm-hmm. What band
No.
requested? They wanted to be on the soundtrack.
But not what band actually got accepted? Or are they one in the same?
They were on there.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. They cannot record anymore.
Got it.
They're still around, but they cannot record.
Although I feel like that single that they wrote for that film was a very odd song for that movie.
I don't remember the song. Question 4. Approximately how many times has Optimus Prime died, including comics, TV, and movies? How many times approximately has old Optimus been killed?
Jeez. I have no idea on that
Me
one.
either. I'm just taking a guess.
Take a guess. Within 5, you get a point.
Within 5.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Within 5.
It's been in multiples. That is true.
He's always dying. And question number 5. In what year was the first BitCon held? You get it within 5, you get a point.
What the heck is BitCon?
BitCon is a convention that celebrates robots and Transformers.
Robots and Transformers?
Yeah.
So like Mech Warrior as well?
Sure.
Battletech?
Yeah, why not?
Robotech?
Cylons?
Yes, do
Mobile,
it.
Mobile Suit Gundam?
Droids,
Terminators?
vacuums.
iRobots?
That's the same thing. All right, pens down.
No. Oh.
Yeah, you were too busy listing off robots. Question 1. Before he was a Chevrolet Camaro, Bumblebee was what type of car? Nicole,
VW Beetle.
JL,
Volkswagen Bug?
and Faraz.
VW Bug.
Beetle is correct.
Oh, really?
Good job.
I was just guessing.
Question
That's so
2.
cool.
You did good. You did good. Question 2. The soul of Transformers is called what, JL?
Their Spark.
Faraz,
Spark.
Nicole,
Blank.
blank.
I didn't.
It's Spark. Question 3. What band requested to be part of the soundtrack on the original Transformers movie? Nicole.
I had originally put, because, based on what year you said,
Yeah.
I originally put Fallout Boy, but then you said they can't record anymore,
No.
and they are still coming out with new stuff. So I said Linkin Park. They can't record anymore.
JL?
I said Lincoln Park.
Faraz.
It's Linkin Park.
It's Linkin Park.
Look at this!
Did you know that their DJ also goes by DJ Starscream?
No.
No,
Oh
I
my
hadn't-
gosh, I lucky guessed twice.
that
you
sounds
did
so
good.
familiar too.
so
I,
cool.
I think
Yeah, the
I
DJ
just
for
never.
Lincoln Park is actually like when he does solo stuff goes by DJ Starscream.
No, I didn't know. Not a big. I mean, Linkin Park's okay. I once put all their greatest hits together, and it was like one long song. Although I never noticed that just listening to the individual songs on the radio. But when you put them all together, I'm like, oh, this
But
is
it's
like
one long good song.
it's a good song, but it is one long song. Question 4: approximately how many times has Optimus Prime died, including comics, TVs, and movies? Within 5, you get a point. JL.
7.
Faraz.
15.
Nicole.
80. You made it seem like he dies a lot.
He does.
And between movies and comics and like TV series, it could have very well been that many.
It's roughly 25 times.
Okay.
Give or take.
Wow, nice for us.
Roughly.
You were closest.
You were the
though.
closest. Still
Without
no
going
points,
over.
but you were the
I
closest.
was still 5 shy of the window.
And of course, question 5 was always the impossible question. In what year was the first BitCon held? Faraz?
94.
JL?
95.
Nicole?
97.
Everyone gets a point. It's 94. Double points for Faraz.
Yeah.
Good job.
Ooh, I think Faraz won
I
this
didn't
quiz.
do terrible for that one.
No,
That's
you didn't.
so
No,
for-
and
cool.
all you had to do was watch an animated series and go play with some toys.
Toys that I could never get to transform. I was not that good at it.
They
I-
got easier after they weren't die-cast metal anymore.
Yeah, my brother
Yes.
was big into Transformers, and he could do it, and he's younger than me, so, it was always, I can get this toy to work, and I couldn't do it. I could never get him to work.
I was only good at the Beast Wars.
Oh, I loved those. Those were so good.
So let's get into the script. This is JL's topic. You lead us off.
That's right, on Transformers. More than meets the eye. I'm thinking Unicron already. Robots in disguise. The brutal civil war for Cybertron has captured the imagination for decades. Most of us know the violent plight of the heroic Autobots and the sinister Decepticons.
Hold on a second. Nicole,
What?
who's the good guys? Who's the bad guys?
Autobots are good, Decepticons are bad.
All right, good job.
Autobots roll out.
All right, good job. Good job.
At least she knows the catchphrase. Dutiful Optimus Prime and malevolent Megatron have led their armies into battle over countless iterations from prehistoric Earth through to the cosmos and back. Today, when many people hear the word Transformers, they're probably either thinking about the glorious cartoon series of the 80s and 90s, or the awful Michael Bay, worse than the Star Wars prequels film franchise. But at the heart of the Transformers, its spark is the Hasbro toy line.
Now, Nicole, what sound does the Transformers make when they're transforming?
Is this setting me up to...
No.
No.
I'm seeing how as somebody who's not a fan,
My
but
4-year-old would get this right. Let me just point that out.
some of this stuff, it bleeds into pop culture. Like some things you know about some things, even though you don't watch it.
Family Guy has used it.
So this sounds pretty famous, even if you don't watch it.
Because Peter used to work with Soundwave.
Do you know the sound?
No, unless it's like... Pew, pew, pew. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
know.
It is.
You're
It's
kind of
pew,
getting it.
pew, pew.
Pew pew.
No, it's not like it's not like shots from a Star Wars gun, but like it just go on.
No, well, JL, what? Do it again.
It's more like...
Okay.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah.
Okay.
While it's common knowledge that the cartoon series, which made the franchise into a legend, was created solely to help push the Hasbro toys, not many realize that this toy line itself was just a rebranding of previous vehicle-to-robot transforming figures. Japanese toy maker Takara Tomy was first to market with its Microman and Diaclone transforming figures. The Diaclone transforming robots, released in 1980, were themselves a spin-off of Takara Tomy's... Is it Tommy's or Tommy's?
I would think it's Tommy
think
because
it
isn't
is
Tommy
Tommy's.
two
I think
Y
it's
two
Tommy's.
M's?
I don't know.
Tommy is Tommy.
So I look at JL because he usually answers all the Japanese names
I
for
think
us.
it's Tommy.
JL is Japanese. People don't know that.
Anyway, so where was I? The Diaclone transforming robots, released in 1980, were themselves a spin-off of Takara Tomy's Microman toy line from the 1970s. In 1982, Diaclone launched the Car Robot series, which featured Diaclone robots transforming into contemporary vehicles. Many of the original Transformer Autobots came from this line, obviously, while original Decepticons, like Starscream, would emerge from Diaclone's Jet Robo line. Then, in 1984, U.S. toy maker Hasbro, riding on the success of its G.I. Joe toy line, attained the license for Takara Tomy's toy lines and merged the Car Robot series with the Jet Robos, creating the Transformers.
Now, there's a show on Netflix, and they also came out with the Transformers. It's about toys. I probably should have said that. And they do
The toys that
different
made us.
the toys that made us, and they also did a Transformer episode. And what's funny is the GI Joe was sent over to Japan, and it didn't sell well because, of course, we bombed them.
Yes.
We killed them, a lot of them. So they turned the G.I. Joe into a robot, and that sold. And that was one of the very beginnings of the robot craze over in Japan.
Was that like the Microman series? Is that how that started?
I don't remember all that great detail, but I just remember that it's the G.I. Joe figure. It's the tall one, and they put a plastic body on it that was like a see-through robot, and it was very popular. As any good Transformer fan knows, this expansive series is typically separated by generations, arguably the most popular being Generation 1, which encompasses the era from the series launch 1984 through 1993. Following the format of Hasbro's G.I. Joe toy line, an animated series pairing, the toy maker hired comic book titans Jim Shooter, perhaps most famous for his work with Marvel, Bob Budatsky, who would... am I saying that right, JL?
Budiansky? I don't know.
Okay. Who would become known for his Transformers works in Marvel Comics, and Dennis O'Neil, known for his work on DC's Batman and Green Arrow, to develop a story for the Transformers. It was O'Neil who would give the name Optimus Prime to the legendary Autobot leader, and Budansky who would create the original story, the origin story. As the epic fable goes, The Autobots, desperately trying to escape an onslaught from Decepticons. Which ones are the good guys again, Nicole?
The Autobots.
Okay, just checking. Are under attack aboard their ship, the Ark. The Decepticons relentlessly pursue with their own spaceship, the Nemesis, until both suffer catastrophic battle damage and plummet into prehistoric Earth. With the third era of Transformers, the Beast Wars...
Page turn for Chris again.
Every time.
Yeah. Will later convey what happened around this time. The Generation 1 heroes and villains don't wake from the disastrous crash until the 1980s because the 80s music was the best music ever, so they waited.
That's right.
They did stay asleep until that time. Yes.
They
And
were
without that, Soundwave could never be a cassette player.
no, they were fans of Human League. Don't you want me, baby?
The animated series also launched in 1984 and was produced by Sunbow Productions and Marvel Productions. Around this time, Marvel also released their Transformers comic book series, featuring cameo appearances by well-known Marvel heroes like Spider-Man. While Marvel would alter some of Budiansky's origins for the Transformers, the premise was essentially kept intact. This is considered the definitive canon for the majority of the fans of the characters. Much of the mythos. Much of the mythos introduced.
Wait, aren't those mints?
They're the
Mentos.
fresh maker.
Oh, okay.
Much of the mythos introduced.
You almost said Mentos.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
The fresh maker.
Introduced on the cartoon and in the comic became core elements of the characters even to this day, including the Transformers' home planet Cybertron, their crash landing on Earth, and the Autobots' friendship with a teenage boy with the last name Witwicky. Spike in the cartoon, Buster in the comic, and Sam in the movie. Besides Optimus Prime, other main characters include Bumblebee, a Volkswagen Beetle, Soundwave, a cassette player, Jazz, a Porsche, Megatron, a gun, and Starscream, a fighter jet.
Here's a little trivial knowledge to throw your way. Sam in the movie was played by who?
Shia LaBeouf?
And whose opening includes Shia LaBeouf screaming?
Ours.
Yes, good job.
That's right.
And which
Yes.
fighter jet? There's another one. Which fighter jet was Starscream?
What kind of fighter jet?
Yeah.
It was a fast one.
There was only one jet in the movie. Are we talking
No,
like
in
animated?
in the
or-
animated, he was based on the U.S. flagship fighter jet. In the movie, he was based on the new U.S. flagship fighter jet. It was the F-18 in the animated series, and I believe the F-22 or F-24 in the film.
Well, yeah, you had to separate them in the animated because there were different types of jets and all that. You had the cone heads and the not cone heads.
Well, I'm saying that the F-18 came out, and then
I thought it was Benny and the Jets.
Benny and the Jets.
Benny!
he's always contemporary.
Jets.
Generation 1's second season culminated with the 1986 animated theatrical film, The Transformers Movie. The film served as a divide between Generation 1's second and third seasons and featured the final performance given by legendary actor Orson Welles as the planet-eating Unicron, the Galactus of the Transformers universe, who is actually just a big Transformer himself.
Yep.
A planet-sized Transformer. The movie also featured the voice of Leonard Nimoy as the Vile Galvatron, Revenant of Megatron, and the reluctant servant to Unicron. It also had Judd Hirsch as Hot Rod.
Judd Hirsch, really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I know. Who was like that was a big deal because that was like right after Breakfast Club. So getting him to do an animated movie was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generation 2 was launched in 1993, though at the time the Transformers universe was yet to be divided by the generation markers, which were purely
Wait a minute. Wasn't Judge Hirsch in Taxi?
No, that's
Who? Wait, what?
Am I thinking Judd Nelson?
Judd Nelson.
Yeah, I'm thinking Judd
Judd
Nelson.
Nelson's Breakfast Club. Judge Hirsch is Taxi.
Yeah, that's right. I like Taxi more.
So was it Judd Hirsch?
No, it was
or
Judd
was it Judd
Nelson.
Nelson? Okay.
It's Judd Nelson.
Okay.
Too many Judds.
Not enough Judds.
Oh, it depends what you're watching. Where was I? Oh, we'll just start at the beginning. Generation 2 was launched.
No, that's not how you said it before.
Generation 2 was launched in 1993, though at the time the Transformers universe was yet to be divided by the generation markers, which were purely a fan concept before Hasbro adopted the format. This second generation featured mostly modified versions of Generation 1 figures, now equipped with electronic lights and spring-loaded weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, that
to
always makes
swallow
everything better.
and take me to the hospital.
I also repainted some of them too, like the Constructicons were yellow instead of green, and Grimlock for some reason was blue. The Generation 2 animated series was also little more than reworked episodes of the first generation, this time including snippets of CGI animation. It was presented as though the stories were recordings of historical events by the Cybernet Space Cube.
Arguably, there were only two notable events in Generation 2. The first, coming in the form of the Marvel comic series by the same name, wherein the Transformers disbanded the Autobot and Decepticon factions and recognized each other purely as Cybertronians. This piece, of course, would not last. The second milestone of Generation 2 was the inclusion of toy maker Tonka's competing franchise of transforming robots, the GoBots.
They sucked.
The GoBots, which were launched by Tonka just before Hasbro's Transformers, were essentially the same thing, warring factions of car transforming robots against aircraft transforming robots. The exception was that GoBots were compatible with toy sets from other toy maker lines, like Matchbox and Hot Wheels.
Now, I have a special place in my heart for GoBots because
They were easier to transform.
once, big fan of Quick as a kid, the powdered one where you take the powder and you put it in the milk and you stir it up. They had a contest on the lid when you it's like a looks like a at the time it was like looks like a gigantic sardine can, and then it had the lid that you had to pry open with a spoon. It sat on there real. I don't know if they still make it that way. I don't think so.
Wait, is this
I
the
remember
packaging
that,
for the
though.
original GoBots?
What's that?
The original GoBots came in sardine cans?
No, the
No. This is a Quick the
Like-
chocolate
Oh,
milk.
okay,
Like
yeah. Okay,
Nesquik before
okay,
it was
yeah.
Nesquik,
I get
and it
it.
was just quick.
But they had a promotion where you could win GoBots. You open up the lid, and on the bottom of the lid, it would say you're a winner or not a winner. Try again, you big loser.
You know, it's kind of funny.
What?
So there's an ice cream company, the light ice cream Halo Top. You know, and they have the gold
Are
lids.
they giving away Transformers?
No, but they did a contest where if you looked inside and if your thing was gold, then you won. I'm like, well, can't anybody just take off the lid and see if that wrapper is gold? But I don't know if it was on top or underneath when you peeled it off.
Oh, I'm sure
But,
there was some
yeah.
way to not to cheat.
Snapple did the same thing.
But
Wait.
anyway,
Oh, I'm
I won a big GoBot, not a small one, because the GoBots were small. They were like the old
G.I. Joe
G.I.
size
Joe,
from
Star
the
Wars, Star Wars figure size. But I won one of the big GoBots, and it shot a ball out of its butt.
Wow, that's skill.
It was like a $20 GoBot at the time, and that was expensive in the 80s for a toy. It was $20 GoBot, and I won it, and they sent it to me in the mail, and I played with it 3 times.
Do you remember which one it was?
I don't remember, but I do remember it shot a ball out of its butt.
Was it a car?
It was a tanky thing.
Oh, no. I liked the motorcycle, the leader of the evil GoBots, Psykill.
I don't remember any of them. I just remember the one that shot the
The
ball
leader
out
of
its
the
butt.
good GoBots was Leader 1.
Probably look that up to see what it was.
I'm
What year was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Mid-80s.
Okay.
I'm rethinking my whole childhood right now. So
It's the only thing I ever won.
Did
Any-
you know that GoBots are finally now big in Canada?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a thing, because you know how they get everything later? GoBots are now finally big in Canada.
So anytime that I had no difficulty transforming a Transformer, it was
Yeah.
actually a GoBot that I was playing with.
See?
It might have been because they were way simpler.
Oh man!
Like,
I really
I think-
thought I was like getting good at Transformers.
No, it was just a GoBot.
it was just a GoBot.
I think the GoBots basically you just pulled out the arms or pushed them in
One of my
to
favorite
do the car, and you pulled out the legs or pushed them in to do the car.
One of my favorite Transformer toys that I remember having as a child
don't
was just like
remember.
this race car that all I had to do was flip it. It's hard to describe. Flip it vertically.
Yeah.
And just pull out his arms and his guns, and his head would pop out.
That's probably a GoBot.
Yeah. Now I realize that.
Yeah, it was probably a GoBot.
Oh.
Because a Transformer, if you wanted to take a Transformer from a robot to a car, it was 72,000 steps. And the instruction book that it came with was bigger than 4 IKEA instruction books.
So I remember my friends had like Optimus Prime and Megatron and stuff, and I would play with them, and we could just never figure them out.
No, you either kept them as a robot or you kept them as the truck. Whatever version you got it in originally, that's where it was. That's where it stayed forever.
I just remember like distinctly those two characters were a pain to transform. Where was I? Thanks to Hasbro's acquisition of Tonka, Generation 2 saw the merger of the Transformers and GoBots universes. However, While Hasbro owned the fictional properties of the GoBots franchise, toy manufacturing went to Bandai instead.
Generation 2 ended with the epic launch of the Beast Wars series in 1996. Now, this is where I drop out.
Oh, see, and this was like the first full CGI series that they did.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the Beast Wars. I was
Instead of being Autobots and Decepticons. Oh, come on.
This third era of
You
Transformers.
kill me when you do that. Need to really start reading these.
Yes. This third era of Transformers featured robots that would transform into prehistoric creatures instead of the customary vehicles. Did they do the bird, the pterodactyl?
There was a pterodactyl.
His name was Pterosaur.
Okay.
There was a bird, too. I forgot her name.
I like the pterodactyl. Did they do an alligator?
No.
No, okay.
There was a rhino named Rhinox. A cheetah named Cheetor. Scorponok was in there.
Did they
Megatron was a T-Rex.
Did they do a praying mantis?
No, but Optimus, instead of being Optimus Prime, was Optimus Primal.
Okay.
Wait, they didn't do a praying mantis?
I don't remember.
Praying mantis would have been cool.
My favorite episode of Beast Wars was when the spark of Starscream infected Waspinator.
They should have done
They did an ant. I remember that.
Yeah, that was Inferno.
Yeah,
He was a
Inferno
fire
was
ant.
awesome.
He was a fire ant.
They should have done a male praying mantis and a female praying mantis, and then the male praying mantis head could have fallen off.
They did a tarantula and a Black Widow.
Yeah, they needed a praying mantis. I'm glad I dropped out before this because I've been disappointed. The tie-in animated series was developed by Canadian company Mainframe Entertainment, now Rainmaker Studios. Beast Wars was the first completely CGI series in the Transformers franchise, as pointed out by JL. Though original fans of the first two generations were initially upset by the transition from vehicles to animals.
Like Chris.
No,
You gave up.
I've moved past.
He moved on.
I was older. Beast Wars, thanks to its surprisingly mature and rich narrative, would go on to become one of the greatest series within the Transformers franchise.
Now you missed out, Chris.
I did miss out, but there's no praying mantis, so I don't feel like I have missed
I
I
out.
feel
will
like
say
there
that-
was a praying mantis.
I felt like we were very spoiled during this because at the time, like where I grew up, the hour block that it was on, it went Batman the Animated Series into Beast Wars. So it was like
What was that block called? It was on Fox, right?
It was on Fox, but yeah, it was the best hour you could spend in your day. It was like, yeah, Batman the Animated Series. Now Transformers.
Yeah, that sounds cool, except for the Batman part.
What?
Just joking. The show's success would be celebrated for years, warranting Hasbro to release a 10th anniversary collection in the show's honor.
You sound so bored while you're reading that.
I didn't sound bored.
He was just
The show's success would be celebrated
There was a praying
for
mantis.
years, Chris. For years. Because it was such a good show.
Can I say?
Okay, so I'll
You
reread
knocked
that.
over Ultra B.
I'm sorry.
I bring one Transformer and you knock them over.
Sorry. There was a praying mantis transformer.
I
Okay.
think it was just released as an action figure, but was never on the show.
Well, now I'm excited, so I'll reread the line. The show's success would be celebrated for years, warning Hasbro to release a 10th anniversary collection in the show's honor.
Wow!
I'm just going to say this to Chris also. I'm looking at the action figure, and you would hate this. It looks like it would be a pain to transform.
I just leave it as a praying mantis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And then I would tell people that this is a robot. It's a robot praying mantis, but you can't see the robot form. It's only in the praying mantis.
What was the name?
Man Terror?
That's another one. I think there was another one, too.
No, they keep saying that.
Is it Man
They
Terror?
keep saying that. All
That
right.
just,
Oh my gosh!
I
that does
think I
look
had
like a
it.
bitch. Hold on, I'm looking at it before
I'm
you
pretty-
take it out of my.
I feel like it's in my parents' house because I have all my old Beast Wars there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be impossible to transform.
Seriously? Like, when you look at it, that just looks like it's awful to transform.
Yeah,
No, I remember this. My brother and I had this.
you know, Transformers are super cool, but I'm surprised they caught on like they did because they were really hard to transform.
Those underneath its talons or whatever, those little discs, they fly out. There's a clicker.
Ah,
I think we lost the clickers,
I think it's
though.
part of, like, Scorponok's. Like, the action figure for Scorponok was like that, too.
Yeah.
I saved a praying mantis once. It was in my school.
Did it try to
and-
bite you?
No. I took a cup
Your head off?
and I took a piece of paper. So, like, I covered it with a cup and a piece of paper, and then I took it outside.
oh, that's very nice of you.
No.
Gorponox was the only Beast Wars Transformer that was in the Michael Bay film
Yes,
franchise.
it was. And they made him mindless, which was really aggravating.
Yeah.
By the way, clicker in my house is a remote control.
Ugh.
This series occurs 300 years after the Great War between Autobots and Decepticons. Cybertronians are again at war, but the old banners have been laid to rest, and the warring factions are now recognized as Maximals, the new Autobots, and Predacons, successors to the Decepticons of old. History repeats itself, quite literally, with the Maximal spacecraft crash landing on a mysterious planet after being attacked by a Predacon vessel, which similarly plummets into the ground.
Now, Maximal, wasn't that the guy in the TV show that could turn into a shark and a tiger?
That was Manimal.
Oh, okay.
That's such a literal name.
What? It was a great show. You should really look it up sometime.
Mm-hmm. However, unlike their predecessors, these Transformers do not fall into a century-spanning hibernation, and instead awaken to continue their battle in the prehistoric landscape, molding themselves into various mammals, reptiles, and even dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
It's a dinosaur.
Life
It's
finds a way.
dinosaur.
It is later revealed that these Transformers, in their fight through space, fell through a space-time warp and were actually on prehistoric Earth.
Yeah, they took a jump to the left.
Their battle reaches a jaw-dropping crescendo with the discovery of the legendary Autobot Ark and the hibernating Autobots within, including slumbering, helpless Optimus Prime.
Who then got killed?
What?
25
Spoiler
times.
alert.
He didn't die in Beast Wars, though.
You might
No.
as well.
The Maximal saved him.
Oh, I hate you.
Did he turn? Did the was the Maximal a tiger or a shark when he saved him?
An ape.
Animal.
Oh,
A gorilla.
an ape. Okay.
I hate you. You're making me talk. This was such a great episode. Beast Wars would go on to inspire spin-off series across the world. At its second season episode, Code of Hero, about the heroic fall of the tragic character Dinobot, is often hailed as the best episode ever produced by the Transformers franchise. That episode was so good.
Yeah, you just said it was a great episode. And now you know you're not alone. The world saw it as a great
I
episode.
know. It was so good.
It was JL and then the world behind him crying when this thing died.
We were all crying. My brother and I were
Yeah.
like hugging each other on the couch.
It was very sad. Had a very like what was it, like samurai feel to it. And
Yeah.
because he had that code of again the title Code of Honor. Such a good episode.
Code
Thanks.
of
Now,
Hero.
In 2010, a decade after the end of the
Do you
Beast
need
War,
a tissue?
I will soon
Okay.
because we're talking about the
This
end.
episode, like, it invoked all kinds of sad emotions.
Pulled at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
I feel fine.
Thank you, REM.
Wow. Because you know what? Everybody hurts. And we hurt watching that episode. In 2010, a decade after the end of the Beast Wars series and 11 years after his fateful sacrifice for the ancestors of humanity, Dinobot became the very first character to be given a place in Hasbro's Transformers Hall of Fame.
There's a Transformers Hall of Fame?
I want to know where the building is, which was created to honor real-world. Really? You gave me Chris's part. Page turn. Contributors to the franchise. This ceremony for Dinobot and other 2010 inductees, such as Peter Cullen, voice of Optimus Prime, was held at Walt Disney. Seriously? How did I not know about this?
I didn't know about it either.
At the Swan and Dolphin Resort. I'm really upset I didn't know about this.
2010. You were here too.
Dinobot was honored at the Swan and
I
Dolphin.
know.
Such a weird place to honor him, though.
I know. And I could have just walked there.
But if you're going to honor the Beast Wars, Swan and Dolphin,
So which one's the
Why?
Predacon
One's a
and which
fish
one's
and
the
one's a
Maximal?
bird.
the Maximal is a dolphin, right?
Because the Swan is secretly evil.
Yes.
But this
Like a
dolphin's the
pterodactyl.
fish, not the flipper. At the Swan and Dolphin, the dolphin's the fish,
Yeah.
but not flipper.
Right.
You're still looking at me and not saying anything for us.
I don't understand.
Because
This is neither fish nor fowl.
It's the it's the dolphin fish. Going back a bit, from September of 1999 to May of 2000, a short-lived sequel to Beast Wars called Beast Machines was launched. Beast Machines focused more on full-season stories that took the Maximals and their leader, Optimus Primal, back to Cybertron to fight Megatron and the Viacons. I thought it was a very underrated series.
I actually, I don't know how I felt about it. I don't think I cared that much for it.
Looking back on it, I think it was very underappreciated. I think it's a good story as a whole. Like, you had like the betrayals of like things that you didn't think you would ever see. Like Rhinox, who was so loyal to
Yeah.
Optimus Primal, and then he pretty much ended up becoming the main villain of that series
But where did the praying mantis come in?
Beast Wars.
in the action figure line.
Okay.
I just felt like in Beast Machines, Optimus Primal went the way of Disney's Luke Skywalker.
By
You
the
know?
way, Beast Machine was my nickname in college.
Beast Machine. Robots in Disguise aired next and is generally just considered a placeholder series between Beast Machines and the reboot Transformers Armada. Robots in Disguise was brought over and dubbed from the Japanese program Transformers Car Robots.
Those Japanese are so precise with their naming.
Very original names. Looking more anime in tone, Robots in Disguise has the Autobots fight the Decepticons in a self-contained series with no story connections to anything aired before it or after it. Because it seems like Transformers just decided to forget that it ever happened.
I don't think it followed any canon. It didn't care. It was
Next.
its own thing,
Robots in Disguise actually isn't that bad.
like David
Really?
Pumpkins.
I never gave it a chance.
Any questions?
Lex watches it a lot.
Yeah.
There's like no real, like the Decepticons don't look that great or anything like that, but there's no connection whatsoever. The only thing that they really connected it to was Rescue Bots at one point, which was like it's the new GoBots for kids.
Okay, I didn't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, Rescue Bots is just like this whole like safety thing, and it's not in here, but yeah.
I guess this is where I kind of pulled out of the series like Chris pulled out before Beast Wars.
Well, I guess you never knew where to pull out.
No. Next.
When my nickname was Beast Machine, I pulled out a lot.
Hi, Nicole's mom.
Oh, I finally get a Hi Nicole's mom with something I said. It's only been 54 episodes.
I'm going to give you a high five from across the
62.
table, Beast Machine.
I did it.
Next.
We can shut down the podcast now. We don't have to record anything else.
Just like John Oliver did, and then he realized
now
that
that's a buy
HBO
Nicole's
contracts were hard to get out of.
Isn't that Beast Machines ended with them all going organic, right?
Going organic?
Were
What do
you all
mean?
organic too?
Yeah, they became vegan and stuff
I was just
like
about to
that.
ask, organic vegans?
Yeah, Whole Foods took over the planet.
Was it like
What? I don't understand.
Apparently, Cybertron wasn't always like a
Metal planet?
metal planet.
No.
so
They
he
were-
harvested solar energy instead of using like refined oils
They were
from the
essentially allergic to gluten.
earth? Oh. Got it. So much information I'm learning.
Shrimp and eggs and shellfish?
Yeah. More gluten, though.
Anyway,
Soy?
after Transformers Armada, in 2002... Wait, where was I?
Yes.
Yes. Next, in 2002, Transformers Armada was co-produced between Hasbro and... I think I'm going to burp. Hold on.
No, take your time.
All right, it's not coming out,
Yeah,
so I
there's
might
no
as well
time
just
limit
continue.
on this, yeah.
If it does,
Transformers Armada
Oh,
was
wait.
co-produced.
right into the mic if you have to.
Yeah. I got to burp now. Hold on a second. No, I'm okay. Go ahead.
Remember that one time where you tried to burp, but you like looked away and we didn't know what was happening?
Yeah. So I didn't burp into the mic.
But I didn't burp into the mic.
No.
I
mean,
just-
there's
I sucked
many
it back in.
podcasts where they do burp into the mic.
Did
Some
you
of
want me
those
to
are
burp-
ours.
Am I supposed to burp into the mic?
Well, you don't.
No!
No, you don't. No, you don't have to. Now
I
gotta
swallowed
burp.
it. I swallowed it back down again.
Thanks a lot. Just talking about burping made me burp. Don't talk about any other bodily functions.
I'm going to skip this whole sentence. Transformers Armada picked up where the 1980s show left off, but with a new continuity altogether.
Continuity.
I can't. Okay, fine.
because
Thank
he
you.
has to burp.
Con-
If
You
he did
wrote
like to
this.
burp, he could say continuity.
All right, something happened. But
I
it wasn't
wrote
a
that
burp.
part.
Optimus Prime and Megatron were brought back as the leaders of their respective factions. Unicron from Transformers the movie made an appearance. His role in Armada and the two series that followed would be dubbed Dum Dum Dum, the Unicron Trilogy.
Wow, that was a tough title to come up with.
You can always tell when Faraz writes a part because all of his will say arguably and generations. And there's another word that you love, if I can find it.
However,
However's, if those words are in the sentence, Faraz wrote it.
you know what's funny? You know how sometimes like you'll see things online where they mix up the letters in a word to say like, oh, you can read what this actually says because your brain is correcting the letters to the way they should be.
Yeah.
So when I look at that, I just keep seeing unicorn instead of unicron, but I know it's unicron because I'm reading it, but I keep wanting to think it's unicorn because
Anyway.
it's so close.
As we learned before, if the word truncated comes up, it's Chris.
Truncated.
Also, if there's an exclamation mark in the sentence, that's Faraz.
He gets Yes, energized.
But if there's quotation marks without a quote,
That's me, baby. That's all me. A new concept introduced was the Minicons, human-sized robots that, when combined with the larger Transformers, would give them a power boost. It was the Minicons that the Decepticons and Autobots were now warring over. So they basically stole Voltron?
I've never watched Voltron.
Oh my god, how have you never watched Voltron?
I don't know. I just never really. There were a
It's
lot
on
of good. There were a
Netflix.
lot of shows to watch, and
Yeah, the reboot's on Netflix.
I like
You
the
would like
reboot.
it.
It's good. I like the changes they made in the reboot. The original's still great, but the changes they did in the reboot don't really damage any of the history or anything like that. It adds to the story.
Now, we've mentioned this before on several podcasts that we've done, but I'm going to mention it again because I always liked the other one, and I can never remember the damn name of it. They had the bird helmets.
Oh, G-Force or Gotchaman.
G-Force. I like G-Force better than Voltron, but Voltron's still pretty good.
I loved G-Force also. That was a great show. Nicole watched none of these. Careful, Ultra B.
I'm being careful.
what is this Transformer, JL?
That's Ultra B from Transformers Robots in Disguise. I stole it from my 4-year-old for the show. It's a combiner, so the
Like
legs...
a Megazord.
Yeah, like how...
From Power
Well,
Rangers.
Describe
No,
it since nobody
right?
can see it.
So the thing is, if you remember...
Dale brought a Transformer.
I did. I brought a Transformer. So, like, Devastator, who is essentially 5 different Constructicons all made into one, and all that. This is Ultra B from Transformers Robots in Disguise. So the legs are made up of Grimlock.
I got to interrupt you for 1 second because Ultra B sounds like an 80s techno band.
Yeah, and if you watch
That's
the
not
show,
what you were called
he
in high
loves-
school?
No, I don't know.
He loved, like, in the show, Bumblebee loves, like,
Music.
80s hair rock. So,
Okay.
like, they threw in some of the elements from the movies and different things like that to make Bumblebee a little more modern. He's the hero in this. He's the leader.
Okay.
So this is his team. So Bumblebee makes up the body, like the main part of the body. Grimlock's the legs. Strong Arm is one of the arms, and then Sideswipe is the other.
And how does that
Sideswipe.
transform? Does
Oh,
it
boy.
transform into something, or
No, they
you
just
just piece
all-
it together?
Yeah, piece it together. They all form their individual forms.
So
and
you
then
could take
they're-
it apart, and
Yeah.
they'll all be different things.
Yeah, they'll be their cars and everything like that.
Because
so,
the arms look like cars.
And the cars
Yeah.
will transform into robots,
Yeah. So like,
like GoBots.
yeah,
Oh, that was really easy.
yeah.
I would play with that. How much does your son want for that?
This is really good for an audio podcast.
He don't want it. He's pretty much broken most of it. So
Oh, okay.
He doesn't even know that I took it.
Well, then he'll never know it's missing.
Nope. I'll probably get yelled at when I get home.
Oh, okay.
Dad, you took Bumblebee.
Darn it.
You took Ultra B.
Transformers Energon in 2004 saw Transformers return to computer-generated animation. Energon picked up where the Armada left off, but 20 years later. Here we see the Autobots and the Decepticons working together to mine Earth and the solar system for Energon, their power source. The series ends with a climactic battle that sees Megatron transform into Galvatron, who then plunged into the sun rather than be controlled by Unicron.
Like his Transformers movie self was.
I didn't read. I read that kind of boring, didn't I?
No, I liked it.
I think it was fine.
No, I need to do it like Frost.
Like
wants me to do it.
tragically.
The series ends with a climactic battle that sees Megatron transform into Galvatron. Bum bum bum.
It sounds like an old 80s like commercial to buy the toys. And
Who then?
now I'm going to go buy Galvatron.
And then you go like Galvatron.
Oh, I thought you were going to finish your.
No,
Is Nicole
I
not
had-
paying
I had
attention
enough of
anymore?
it.
No, Nicole has
no.
not been paying
No.
I
attention
was
this entire
paying
time.
attention.
In all
Nicole-
fairness, she paid attention. I didn't finish the sentence.
I was waiting for you to finish the sentence.
Nicole quit paying attention when she found out Soundwave was a cassette player. And she went, what's a cassette player?
I know what a cassette player is. Please.
Actually, I do want to hear Chris finish the sentence. With,
Okay. Who then plunged into the sun rather than be controlled by Unicron?
Okay.
That hurt.
Done?
I got a cough.
I would listen to a
You want a
book that
cough
you
drop?
read-
I brought
that you
some.
read. You could read bedtime stories to all of us. Like that.
Yeah, so I'll read bedtime stories.
In 2007, Transformers Animated was aired in the wake of the live-action film.
wait, it's called Transformers Animated? They're
Yeah.
getting better and better with the names now.
Yeah. Or lazier and lazier. Transformers Animated, produced by Hasbro and Cartoon Network, tried to appease all the fan bases with chaotic success.
Yeah, how are you going to do
Chaotic
that?
success. This was a more kid-friendly and cartoony version of Transformers. Optimus Prime became a young, uncertain rookie instead of the commander we were used to. The plot did include classic footage from the original series and familiar story arcs. I'm sorry.
No, there were toy arcs in there.
Okay, familiar story arcs, but would be used in new ways, from Starscream's attempts at leadership to the creation of a space bridge to Cybertron.
Wait, they built a bridge to Cybertron from Earth?
Yeah, it's essentially like Heimdall was taking care of their ways back to and from Cybertron.
Did you watch this?
The bridge ended at Terabithia.
Yeah,
That's sad too.
Yeah, some of them couldn't make it over the river.
Oh, this is really. We are gonna need the tissues then, aren't we?
Yeah. Optimus Prime.
Dinobot did not make it through.
They built the bridge, but I want to sell it to you for $1.
The bridge.
Yeah. Like the
Or the
Brooklyn
tissue
Is
Bridge.
that an
box.
expression?
Yes, it's a New York expression. You should know that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Twilight Zone reference from before.
No. It's a New York reference. It has
But
nothing to
remember
do
we
with the
just-
Twilight Zone.
But remember
No, don't know but me. Do not know
the
but me.
episode that we have out there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we don't understand.
What
That
do
we
you mean?
said. Like,
I understood everything in that episode.
I'll sell you that bridge for $1 or whatever.
Yeah, that's
That's a RoboCop reference.
the Brooklyn Bridge. Like you sell the Brooklyn Bridge to unsuspecting New York
That's
tourists.
not a RoboCop reference.
yeah. And
How's that?
throughout the movie,
Oh
the
my
one guy
God.
says, "I'd buy that for $1."
All right, enough
Never
of this
watched
nonsense.
Yeah, but I don't.
Let's do the fishbowl facts.
Oh, we're done?
Facts.
Yes.
it.
That's it.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
That was a sad way to end this.
Look at you.
Help me.
I
Okay,
can't help you.
That's for you.
Fine. Everybody else.
All right, JL, you start us off.
No, we're trading.
What?
I don't want to read about Michael.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, I want to read about this one.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Everybody's happy.
Thank you, Nicole. You
You're
made me feel
welcome.
better on this one. The Triple Changers are a subgroup of Generation 1 Transformers who have one robot mode and two alternate modes. Though there are countless Transformers with 3 modes, only a small number of them have been officially designated as Triple Changers. Beginning with the Triple Changers subgroup proper in 1986 and continuing with specific individuals thus marked in the years following, like Blitzwing and Springer.
Fishbowl facts.
I don't mind the movies. Why do you hate the movies so much?
Michael Bay ruined my childhood.
Wait, what do you mean you
Why?
don't mind the movies?
They're okay.
Like all the movies?
The only thing, no, I mean, like any series, there's hits and misses. The only thing I don't like is when they don't really focus on the full robot. Like Michael Bay will only show like half the robot in the action scenes. That's kind of hard to watch.
You said there's hits and misses.
Yeah,
Not
the
just
first one wasn't
lot
that
of
bad.
misses to talk about.
the only hit I can think of is the first movie.
The first
Right.
movie's good,
But
and
you pluralized this.
not the one that is just released, but the one before that I think was good.
Really?
What was the one? What's the one that just came out? Dark Knight.
The Last Night.
The Last Night. That's it. The Dark Knight.
Don't you dare desecrate Batman.
Can you picture
this?
Batman as a Transformer?
And what was the one before
I can picture
that?
the Batmobile transforming.
What's the one where they went
what
to
would
the
Age of
Batmobile
Extinction.
look like?
What's the one where they went to the desert?
That was the second one.
Okay, no, that was
With
that was
Megatron,
great.
Revenge of the
right?
Fallen.
What's the one that had John Goodman in it?
John Goodman wasn't in any of them.
Yeah, he was.
I'll look it
John
up.
Goodman was in the third one. He played Hound.
Okay, that one wasn't bad.
That was Dark of the Moon.
Wait, that was awful too, right?
I did not enjoy that one. That had
That was like the original
that had
Prime or
Leonard
whatever.
Nimoy playing Sentinel Prime, and I just kind of went, oh, can't you just hold off and make him Galvatron?
What was the first one that had Marky Mark in it?
Age of Extinction.
All right, that one was good. I like that one. I
And
like
the
the first
Dinobot.
one.
That was the one with Kelsey Grammer too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one wasn't that bad.
Are you? Wow.
Don't are you wob me?
Did you go to the movie theaters to
You
watch
just
these?
but knowed me and Obi wob me.
Oh.
Wow, you really thought that those weren't that bad?
Yeah, I like Marky Mark.
I feel he's done the same thing for forever.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I'm like
So
gonna
you like
cry.
Adam Sandler?
No,
He's done the same thing for forever.
but Marky Mark doesn't go.
No, he just feels the vibrations and plays the same no emotion character and everything.
Say hi to your mother for me. All right, read your fishbowl
Hi, Nicole's
fact.
mom.
I'm still trying
Born
to
in January.
grasp the fact that you like these movies.
Yeah, because they're the type of movie that you just go and you watch the action. I don't.
Well, when you say go, so you're actually going to the movie theater. You're paying
No,
money.
No, I watch them on Netflix or whatever. I
Okay,
stream
so
them.
you're at least just watching them from home.
Yeah, watch
You're
them
not
from home.
you said go.
Can I tell you, this is why I don't like action movies?
Why?
For this reason, where I feel like so much of the story falls by the wayside to just the visual effects of everything that's happening.
No, that's what
And
it's supposed to be.
No, but that's why
Well,
I
not the-
don't
but-
enjoy them. It's like I don't like cool. That looks cool, but you do that on a computer. Like I'm not going to invest my time into just seeing something that looks cool. It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, but you go in. That's what. Yeah, you go in just for the cool aspect of how it looks.
But I don't think that. No.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Faraz one.
No, there's certain movies that you go for the story,
Those are the movies that I go for. I go for one.
and then there's certain movies where you just go for the looks.
Yeah.
Did you look through the fishbowl facts to pick one?
You cheated on this week's fishbowl
I
facts.
totally did.
I have a fishbowl fact
All right,
that
Ray.
JL
Of course
gave
you
me.
do.
Megatron's original form was that of a Walther.
Walter.
Well, there's an H there.
Okay. Well,
Walter P-38 handgun.
you're allowed to overlook any misspellings and just be a professional and just read it.
I didn't know if that's what it was pronounced.
No.
I don't know anything about guns.
Faraz. It's German, so it's Walter.
Thank you, JL. This was changed into a Cybertronian jet for the 2007 movie, with co-writer Alex Kurtzman saying about the change, quote, "That will be the equivalent of Darth Vader turning into his own lightsaber and someone else swinging him around," unquote.
I agree with that. That was a very smart decision.
When he would transform into the gun,
Yeah.
who would shoot him? Starscream?
Starscream.
That's what I remember, yeah, Starscream.
I'm not even hesitating on that one. It was a Starscream.
But why would you need to do that?
Why not?
That was kind of
He
dumb.
turned into a cannon as Galvatron.
Yeah.
But he shot himself.
Do we-
Insert joke there.
There's so many jokes right there, and I'm like, no.
About shooting, like,
Yeah, shooting himself.
sometimes I've shot myself, haven't you?
I'm not going to discuss it on air. In
Have you ever
Transformers...
done that, Nicole?
Hold on, JL. I got a Transformer movie one.
Ooh.
In Transformers Dark of the Moon, 532 cars were destroyed during filming.
Wait, how many?
532.
And none of them were Michael Bay's.
That's why the movies cost so much to make.
I could have used one of those cars.
I could have used all the money that the cars cost.
Yeah.
That's like my student loan debt.
Your student loan debt equals 532 cars?
At this point, probably.
Oh my
Probably
gosh.
does. Are you pre-med?
I was. I'm not this semester. I've taken off for the next 2 semesters.
During the production of the first movie, Michael Bay used the official website to allow fans to suggest lines of dialogue to be used in the film. Among all the submitted lines, the chosen one ended up being, "Freedom is the right of all sentient beings." Sentient beings.
Currently, I'm pre-bankrupt.
While Optimus Prime had never spoken that line before, it wasn't completely foreign to the Transformer franchise, as it had appeared on the back of the Optimus Prime toys packaging in the 1980s. So my question is, did a fan really submit that, or did they just say, like, oh, this fan submitted a line, it just happened to be one that was...
Well, it was
Something-
suggested
It was
by
a
fan.
contest through Pizza Hut.
But, like, that's what I'm saying is, couldn't they just say that a fan submitted that line and they actually just picked it out?
It's
and they
better
tried to
than-
make people feel like they did something?
It's better than having the line submitted Bodie McBoatface.
Well, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
What was that?
I really like that boat, though.
What's that? Bodie McBoatface.
You need to look it up.
It's
a boat.
Who had the boat they wanted named? Was it the Coast Guard?
No, it was England.
Oh,
Just
yes,
England?
I remember this.
Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
American.
Something like that, yeah.
So
I remember.
imagine
That was
Optimus.
pretty recently, right?
A couple years, yeah. Recently,
Years.
yeah.
No, it was, yeah. Okay.
No,
I'll
it
look
was a
up.
couple
It
years.
was
If
like
you
a year or
listen
two
to-
ago.
If you
Yeah.
listen to one of our first episodes, we have a good long 15-minute joke debate about the name Bodie McBoatface for a while.
Oh, yes, we do. I forgot all about that.
Our first episode?
One of our first episodes, we made jokes about it because we said we wanted to change the podcast name to Bodie McBoatface.
But although probably no one heard that joke because it was 5 people talking over each other.
Well, you said you
yeah.
wanted to gather clips to
Yes.
play over. We should find that.
There's still 2 fishbowl facts.
Okay, that's fine. I still got 3 people before me.
All right, read your
That's fine.
cheated fishbowl fact.
I
JL.
will read my cheated fishbowl fact because did you know that Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime, was also Eeyore in the numerous Winnie the Pooh shows and movies, the narrator from the Voltron TV series, and was the voice of the Predator in the original movie.
No way. No way.
I know.
did not know.
I would have never known the Eeyore part.
Thank you, Fishbowl Facts.
Although you can kind of hear it now.
I am never going to be able to listen to Eeyore the same way because all I'm going to hear is 100 Acre Wood roll out.
Is this too long
Pooh
for
and
you?
Friends, roll out.
Pooh and friends, roll out. All these sentient beings like Christopher Robin. Rue, you will never rule the 100 Acre Wood.
Star Scream, can you please put back on my tail? Why did you give up your fishbowl fact?
You looked sad when you didn't have an extra one.
You had an
Here,
Eeyore
you
look
can
to
take
you.
mine.
You looked like Eeyore.
No, he gave it up because it's a long one.
Mine is short.
I messed up and I put 2 of the same fishbowl facts. So there was only 7 fishbowl facts this week because
I think you should have read it again and nobody would have noticed.
no, it was the Peter Cullen as Eeyore. Got in there
Oh,
twice.
yeah, we already made all the jokes.
I have plenty of Peter Cullen Eeyore jokes right now.
Among the Transformers toys of various generations, there is a defect that certain figures exhibit where the metallic painted pieces and the gold of the gold ones in particular
Well, I'm glad I didn't read this.
have a bad tendency to break and crumble. Among avid collectors of the toys, the defect has become well known and is often more commonly known as gold plastic syndrome. Gold plastic syndrome would jump from the toy defect to Transformers canon, as it would later be incorporated into the show and comics, with the Transformer Doctor character Red Alert developing a cure for it, and other villainous Transformers developing a weaponized version of gold plastic syndrome.
Which is actually the title of the new 9 Inch Nails album.
Is it really?
Yeah, they're huge Transformers fans.
Interesting.
That is pretty fun. That they incorporated that defect into the series.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But you could have read that, and then you could have been the cool one to introduce that to the general
Right
public.
now, Chris has got street cred
I do have street cred.
at the conventions for Transformers.
I also think it's interesting that when we did the old console wars episode, we were talking. I think one of the fishbowl facts there were the Super Nintendo plastic would also turn yellow.
The SNES.
Yeah, the SNES. It's like, is it just like toy plastic turns yellow in general?
I don't know. They're probably trying to cut costs.
As for my fishbowl fact, the Americanization of the Transformers in the movies was a result of the Bay approaching the Bay
Yeah, it's
The
like the
Bay.
Hoff, but it's the Bay.
was a result of Michael Bay approaching American automakers and reaching a partnership as a way to save money. In later movies, you'd see the cast expand to more international automakers such as Audi, Ferrari, and Mercedes, who would also jump on the Transformers bandwagon to get their cars in the films.
Does it really say the Bay?
It says the Bay. I'm not making that up. Why would I make that up?
Because you're weird. It does say of the Bay. I think that got corrected. I
don't
think
know.
they got auto-corrected.
All I know is from now on, I'm referring to Michael Bay as
It's the Bay. That's awesome. And that's your Transformers episode. That was pretty cool information. I learned a lot.
I hope this episode was more than meets the ear.
Ha!
Bam, bam, bam,
So
bam.
funny.
I haven't told dad jokes in a while, all right?
I didn't say anything was wrong with it.
Oh, I got a surprise for
It
you
was
next
so
live
funny.
show.
Can anyone make the Transformers noise with their mouth?
Nope, can't do it.
Pew pew.
Shut up.
All right, let's rate the beer.
I liked it.
Well, you're gonna do
Yeah,
more than
I know.
that?
I'm going.
Wow! That was the most impressive rating ever. You know
I
what? With
do-
that, can you explain the rating system to me?
I will. I will give Froz a break this week. Our rating system is 1 through 6 because when you typically buy a nice 6-pack of beer, it comes with 6 beers. So if you were to have all of them to yourself after drinking the first one, how many beers would you drink? 1 through 6. Let's see.
That looks like the Watchmen. That mask reminds me of the Watchmen, not
I'm
Transformers.
like Owlman.
Yes,
It's a
basically.
McDonald's Happy Meal toy.
All right, Nicole, what's your rating?
You know what? It has good flavor. It has a nice label. It's pretty impressive. I don't find anything wrong with it. It's pretty smooth. I would give it a 6. I'd probably be able to have 6 of these. Yeah.
I couldn't swallow
Perfect
my
score.
burp that time.
That's
What?
fine. I'm going to piggyback on you, Nicole.
Yeah.
Don't look for us. I'm going with a 6 too. It's smooth. It's drinkable. It's got a very subtle hint of fruit, but it's not overpowering at all. There's no aftertaste, which any beer that I rate low, it has a terrible aftertaste. This is a 6. This is a winner right here. And it's Flaming Lips endorsed. For us.
It's different.
Oh, God. Here we go.
The label is very out there. It's very original.
Like the Flaming Lips.
And I don't know this band, so it just captures me as being something very different. Almost bubblegummy is what I think of when I see that label. So I reluctantly go in for the first sip, given the...
Can you give a rating and not an adult romance novel review?
So wait a minute. Do you often... It sounds like you look at the label first and then
Judge
have
the beer?
expectations based on what's inside.
I prejudge a book by its cover.
Oh, my gosh.
Why, oh my gosh. I feel like most people do. There's nothing wrong with...
I
I understand that labels can be,
Yeah,
deceptive.
the label has nothing to do with the content.
But the label makes me think that, this is going to be like bubblegummy or fruity. And
Because it's pink?
yes. Yeah, that's why. I guess we should describe the label in more detail. But
You need to stop caressing the bottle while you're talking. That's really disturbing.
It's bubblegummy. His hands are stuck to it.
this is how I get my feelings about the beer
Okay,
that
all
I'm
right,
drinking. is
continue.
by
Wow.
The caressing. Then I know what the
At
beer feels. I know
some
how
point
I
we'll get a
feel about
rating.
the beer.
Yes. Tell us what's
But who
the
goes
rating?
first, you or the beer?
It's very smooth.
Yes.
It doesn't have that bubblegummy effect that I thought was coming my way.
Uh-huh.
It's like a gentle caress on the inside of my mouth.
Before we lose our last listener, what's the rating?
I think, given its easy drinkability, I could probably easily do a 3 out of 5.
It's out of 6! It's out of 6!
So it's 4.
I would do a 3.5 out of 6.
Oh, my gosh.
I hate the Canadian.
So 3.5? Is that your final answer?
Yeah, if I can't explain why it got
3
0.5.
out of 5
Yes,
equals
explain why.
X out of
No,
6.
I think we're... What?
I'm
Nicole
We're
just
trying to
Googling?
do Faraz math right now for your actual
It's
rating.
akin to toilet paper math, I think.
It's not. It's not. I promise.
I think I understand toilet paper
18
math better
divided
than you
by 5.
understand the rating system.
What is toilet paper?
3.6. You give it a 3.6 out of 6. If you were to give it a 3 out of 5.
What is toilet paper math?
It's hard, is what it is.
It's where the jumbo rolls equal, like, one roll is like the equivalent of, like, this many rolls.
Oh, okay.
And they're never equivalent to any kind of logical math.
But you know what is easy? Rating this beer, which I'm going to give a 6 because it has a great taste. It's very smooth. Like Chris said, no aftertaste. The label is phenomenal. I love Dogfish Head as a brewery, and they really knocked it out of the park with this beer. 6.
and
although
it's
that-
6.5 ABV.
Those last Dogfish you brought
Pax
in,
punch.
both of those were horrible until you
And then
combined
Put
them.
them together.
So I was nervous about
And when
this
they
one.
made Voltron, it was great.
That's true. The separate Voltron people weren't as powerful as the whole Voltron.
That's right.
That's a lesson to be learned.
For another episode.
I want to know who's the guy that determines that the one toilet paper roll equals 4 toilet paper rolls.
Somebody who failed math.
All right,
That's
well,
all I got.
Let's open up the email. What do you got?
If you want to email us at podcast42show@gmail.com, 42 numerically. Don't type out the words 42.
That's why I couldn't log on to the
Wait,
email for forever.
about the toilet paper math. Why don't we just buy the different sets and count the squares to
Oh
see
my
how
God.
accurate they are?
Do you know
well,
how long
that's-
that'll take?
That's what we'll spend
Faraz?
our money that we've made on.
I vote that the next live show, we bring in a roll from each thing that they compare it to, and you sit there and you count out each square
That's-
while we talk.
This sounds like a
That's
group
fine.
effort. We'll need like the whole house.
You bring in one of your Charmin, because he says Charmin instead of Charmin. Which do you guys say?
Charmin.
Do you say
Charmin.
Thank you.
Don't squeeze
And
it.
he's like,
And yet
but
it's Charizard, not Charizard.
yeah, but it's also Chardonnay. We went over this.
Oh my god!
But it's not Charizard, is it?
It's like the whole Will.
It's not a
Wheaton thing.
Chardonnay.
Wheaton.
Bill Wheaton. Oh, Bill Wheaton.
Oh,
Will Wheaton.
it's
Brian, you're
Charmin.
acting weird.
What are you acting weird?
You know why it's Charmin? Because on the commercial they say
Charmin.
Charmin.
Yes, that's what I told him.
I'm just supposed to believe that the people that are saying this know how it's
They're
pronounced.
advertising
Yeah.
it.
How do the Japanese say Hyundai?
Hyundai.
Yeah.
Wait, why'd you say Japanese?
Because isn't it a Japanese?
Because it's Hyundai, like
It's South
Sunday.
Korean.
Okay, how do they say Hyundai? Hyundai.
No,
Isn't
they
that how
say
they say it?
Hyundai.
No, they don't.
They say Hyundai.
They say Hyundai.
All right.
Because they actually
They
had
had to correct
they actually
it with a
had
commercial.
a ad campaign where they said it's Hyundai
Like Sunday.
Okay. But
Even though I
anyway.
mispronounced it listening to you for my first time.
So it looks like Nicole's like validity in this argument. has
Okay,
been
well,
rebuked.
do they say Chardonnay or Chardonnay?
A lot of people say things that are incorrect. I'm not
It
just going to
depends
believe
how
anyone.
much you've had
So
to
you're
drink.
so you're the one saying it incorrect if you're saying Charmin.
No, they had a campaign that was famous forever. Don't squeeze the Charmin. They never said it any
Don't
differently.
harm the Charmin.
And why would they go, oh, well, he messed it up, so let's just do 30 years of this messed up word?
Well, they've been. If their math is wrong, they've been doing how many years of the
Well,
messed
then
up math?
obviously we're almost at the end of the toilet roll math, and we'll eventually hear the proper way to say it. You could be the last square.
I will. I will follow up with this toilet paper math thing.
That's
And
fine.
I'll get back
and
to you
if
guys.
you don't, we will replace you like we do the toilet
Do you
paper
put the
roll.
toilet paper over or under the roll?
over?
I prefer it over. He puts it under.
I do under.
Really?
Yeah,
It is easier to grab, and
I've heard this
You don't
argument.
poop
I
enough.
disagree.
you
No,
obviously
I poop
don't poop enough.
Twice a day is all I poop.
My
That's
kids
it?
have lost all the little things that stick in there, so it just sits on the back of the toilet. All right, back to the emails.
Back to the email, podcast42show@gmail.com. Gene emailed us saying, what has been everybody's favorite show topic so far? Mine was Nickelodeon. That's what Gene said. His favorite was Nickelodeon's episode.
That's a tough one.
Yes.
I like the ones where I learned stuff that I don't know. So I'm trying to think, what was the one that I learned the most?
I like the ones that I actually know what we're talking about.
I actually like
had
the
all of
ones
2
where you
episodes of
don't
that.
know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Those are more fun.
All of 2 episodes.
I like Seinfeld, and I like South Park, and I like...
Just pick all the episodes you chose. For it's okay.
I kind of
know.
like
Okay.
Ernest. I like the Ernest one.
I thought Ernest was fun. Honestly, I loved our episode where we did the tasting.
Tasting was good.
Oh, yeah, the Japanese
The
snacks.
Japanese tasting was a lot of fun because it was adventurous. I thought I had so much fun with the Big Brother episode.
That one was great. We have to do that again soon.
We are.
I really enjoyed
Yes,
that one.
because Big Brother is starting soon because it's almost summer, and summer means Big
But
Brother.
seeing as how we're picking topics that we did, I would have to say Dave Grohl was my favorite episode that I picked.
Who?
The Dave Grohl episode.
Weren't you? You were here for that.
No, I don't think he was.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he
Was he?
was.
Were you Dave Grohl? Foo Fighters?
Yeah,
Who?
yeah, he was.
Who are the Foo Fighters?
Oh my God, he
gosh.
was definitely
He
here
was
for that.
here for that
We were
one.
definitely already
Yes,
here for
because
that.
we already went over the whole Foo Fighters thing.
It's a Canadian band.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't pay attention when it's a topic they don't know about.
What was your favorite episode?
Well, there are like 40 episodes that I don't know,
Well, you can pick.
'Cause you could've
You
been
were like in
listening,
the
but, you
first
know.
7, and then you came
but
back.
I
for
didn't
the
pay attention to
last.
those.
So you don't have
And
a
those
favorite of
were
what
nev-
you've done?
To be fair, the ones that he was a part of at the beginning were never a set topic. It
No.
was kind of
No,
all.
but given
over
since
the
you've come
place.
back,
The-
what have been your favorite ones that we've
But
recorded?
before I came back, my favorite one that I remember was when someone ordered pizza. And I believe wings or no wings.
Wings.
And wings to my apartment. And didn't offer...
made sure to put ham and pineapple on the pizza because he knew none of us were going to eat it.
Yes.
Okay, so the famous story is, for those who don't know it, we were recording a show one night. There was 5 of us, and in the middle of the show, there's a knock on the door,
And we're all
there-
caught off guard by it.
yes. And the person goes, "Oh, my pizza's here." And we're like, "Okay, well, we're all hungry." But no, it was a personal pan-sized pizza, a very small one, and like 6 wings. And he started to eat it in front of us. He didn't offer anybody any, and it was a Hawaiian pizza. Not that anybody wanted that crap.
That was a great episode.
It was a great episode, but I think the best part about that episode is and the thing I wish the most is that everybody could have seen our reactions to the door getting the knock on the door.
That would have been good.
And the fact that he ate the pizza and wings in front of us without actually asking us if we wanted
Although,
any.
I think the more uncomfortable episode was when the knock on the door came because Faraz's gas was leaking.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
And we had to record with the windows open.
That was awesome,
Well,
too.
the maintenance guys come in, and there's 5 guys sitting around the smallest table, one sitting on the end of the couch because Faraz refused to have 5 chairs. Absolutely
Chris brought his own
refused.
chair.
And these maintenance guys looking at us all hovered over a cell phone. 5 guys hovered over a cell phone. They just walk in, they do whatever they did, and they walk
And
out.
we kept recording the entire
Yes, we did.
That was kind of weird. I wonder what stories they told their families. There's 5 guys. They're sitting over a cell phone. I don't know, they're talking into a cell phone. I don't know what they're doing.
Going back to JL's question,
The one guy is sitting on the edge of the couch.
my favorite episode, I think, since I've been back, going off the 5 guys thing Chris just said, was the burger episode.
Oh, okay. Well, that one's only on Patreon.
I had a lot of fun doing the live episode with like everyone tasting the burgers and everything.
Yeah.
And right after that, I think we did the console wars. Yes, episode 1.
No, I think it was the Star Wars politics episode. Was
Really?
That one.
No, that
No?
was a lot longer before that.
I don't know.
I don't know, but we got chicken coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baked?
No,
we're gonna
fried.
do fried
Roasted?
chicken. We're gonna do
too much
live
gluten.
tasting of all the fried chickens.
Yeah,
got
it's
another
only gluten hell for you.
So I've been watching a lot of South Park that I never got to experience before, and I just watched the episode where Cartman ate all of the skin off of the fried chicken that the boys had ordered. So they were like really pissed off at him and decided to all ignore him. And then all the kids at school decided to ignore him. So Cartman thought he was dead. But Butters wasn't in on the joke, so he was helping Cartman go around town and make reparations, thinking that he needed to do that for his soul to finally, like, be released.
Aw,
into...
it's so nice you helped out Cartman.
Yes.
But that doesn't answer my question. Do we have
Well-
a second email?
Yes, we do.
Wait a minute,
LA...
what was your favorite episode?
The one where the maintenance men came.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just said
okay.
the gas one.
Sorry, we were so busy reminiscing. I didn't
You're all
realize
going
that
to
was
die
your...
because of gas.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was your answer.
Yeah, we had to record in a gas-filled apartment, and then the maintenance men came in, and 5 guys are at a really small table yelling into a cell phone.
It was the gamble with our lives for the show, is what Chris really liked.
And I was
the
late for that
adrenaline
show,
rush.
which was even better.
LA456 emailed asking...
309.
Yes. Says, you guys talk a lot of Star Wars. Any Star Trek fans?
I love I grew up on the first one with William Shatner.
I grew up on Next Generation.
I second Next Generation, but I also watched Deep Space Nine.
I did watch Deep Space Nine. I watched some Voyager. I did watch original Star Trek also. Like, when it comes to movies, I remember watching the original cast in the movies before anything else.
Yeah, William Shatner was the man.
Still is.
Wait, Shatner or Picard?
Shatner.
Shatner.
Even though I grew up watching Picard on Next Generation, I'm still going Shatner.
I don't know. There's something about Picard. I just feel like the culture that he brings to the show.
Yeah, because he's Professor X. He's got you, like, it's that mind trick.
I don't know. I'd have to say Picard. I would be a
Commander
Picard's crew.
Sisko.
Did you do any Star Trek at all, Nicole?
I just started watching Star Wars. If you think I was keeping up with Star Trek that whole time and never watching Star Wars,
Trek
you
would
guys
make
are
more
fools.
sense for you, the way you want logic and everything, Spock, so you should really watch it.
Are they
No,
still doing the
that's
Star
okay.
Trek Discovery?
Yes.
Wait, has Nicole seen the Star Trek films? The new ones?
No.
With Chris Pine and...
Why are you asking them and not asking me? I'm right here. No, I have not. Oh, I did see the one with Chris Pine. I mean, it's
Which
Chris
one?
Pine. The first one. I did not see anything.
Oh, we
after
need to
the
watch
first
all of them. I have them all.
one. Do we have to? You
Yes.
guys are trying to get out of my episode because you don't want to do any research on my
No,
topic.
but
not
And
true.
No, that's
As
not
far
true.
as
No,
we
that's not
all
true.
heard, though, you didn't do any research on Transformers.
I've seen the movies, though. Have
Thank
you
you.
seen
I
any of
agree.
Degrassi?
I
Yeah,
grew up in Canada.
No,
Is that
no,
enough?
that's-
Yeah,
That's
listen,
BS.
I can watch
You
Drake
said
in a
I've never
wheelchair
seen it.
anytime.
All right. For those not in the know, everyone gets to pick a topic. So once a month you get to pick a topic. So an upcoming show is going to be on Degrassi. It's Nicole's pick, just to catch
And
everybody up to speed.
Two of these gentlemen are trying to get somebody to take their spot so they won't have to do any research
It's
or
mainly
talk
one
about
person, and I was already told no.
By who?
He's laughing.
Yes.
Oh.
it.
I fully expect JL to be knowledgeable on Degrassi like he is on all the other topics we've done.
That's right. I will watch.
It's a
5
challenge.
I can pick 5. I was only going to say I'll give you 2 to watch. Wow, if
that's
you want
amazing.
5, I will
That's
give you
amazing.
5.
I gave you how many Twilight Zones? Did you watch 2?
Exactly, which is why I was going to give you 2. That seemed fair.
I am just gonna go to YouTube and put in the best of Degrassi and see what comes up.
Well, before you do that, send me the link so I can tell you if that's actually what you should be watching or not.
I also have a Degrassi expert on the side.
Now, I have one question.
Wait, is your fiance a Degrassi expert?
No,
She's
I'm
talking
really
about your friend.
I'm really gonna message our one friend that we work with and also your girlfriend.
Oh,
So technically, I have 2 experts.
Since
Yes,
this is still the Transformer episode,
Yes,
not the Degrassi
Transformers.
episode, I have one quick question, though, and we're going to drop it. Are we going to be able to watch any episode and be okay with what's going on?
Of what?
Degrassi. Or is there a bunch of backstory we're going to need? It's a soap opera, isn't it?
Yes, it is a teen soap opera. I will try to send you more of the iconic stuff, the most controversial episodes that it happens, such as a school shooting or a teenage pregnancy, like all the kind of main stuff that is what the show is most known for, being controversial and being something that the youth can relate to.
So it's not like Saved by the Bell. I'm
It's
not
a
going to get any
school
Zach
shooting. I don't
Morris.
Oh come on!
Okay.
That was gonna be my whole.
They
You
were
already
actually
took my whole bit away from me for that episode.
I beat you to it.
It's been compared to it, but at the same time, Degrassi definitely went a lot darker and covered a lot more.
how's there a school shooting? It's Canada.
They've never had any school shootings in Canada.
Far
Have
fewer
there?
than the United States, I'll let you know that much.
All right. Well, we're wasting valuable material that can be saved for that show. So that wraps up Transformers. This was more than meets the eye.
What time are we at? We're okay? I have one more question for
time
you.
limit.
Okay.
Is it Transformers related?
No, it is. What is this new artwork that you have?
That's
I've been looking at it this whole time, and
Okay.
every time I'm seeing something different.
Well,
I don't know.
nobody knows what you're talking about.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what you need to
I had no
explain
idea
what
what
it
she's
is.
talking about at all.
You've watched that show.
I have not watched.
You have
It's
watched
the
that
member
show.
berries from
No,
South
it's
Park.
not. It is not
It
the
is
member
not the member
berries from
berries.
South Park. What is wrong with
I have
you?
a very bad angle. At
It's
this
a
picture.
blue guy that helps you and then dies.
I don't know who that is.
Mr. Meeseeks.
I don't know who that is.
You watch Rick and Morty? Don't you watch Rick and Morty? I've seen you watch Rick and Morty.
I've seen maybe an episode.
I've
but
seen
I
Rick and
don't
Morty, but I
watch
don't
Rick
remember
and
that.
Morty.
Watch more Rick and Morty than you.
Because you watch more of everything than I do.
It's Mr. Meeseeks from Rick and Morty.
Okay.
If we're going to talk about Transformers with our remaining time, let's go back to Code of Hero.
Yes, let us go back to Code of Hero.
Because I feel like Kristen convey how important that was. With his
Ultra B, no,
retelling.
come back.
You have 5 minutes.
It was Dinobot was awesome.
He was
started
the greatest. He started off as a
My name is
Predacon,
Chris DeVos, and that's
I'm
been
Nicole
no, go
Fasone.
ahead. I'm
He was a
just-
Velociraptor and a Predacon.
and he started off as a Predacon, and he defected to be a Maximal.
Okay. I don't know what any of that means. I feel like Nicole.
How's it
We
feel?
just talked about
we
it.
just did it.
Yeah,
we
I'm
did a
just
whole
joking.
episode.
I'm just joking.
It means that he abandoned the bad guys for the good guys.
But I don't know what more you want to cover on
He went
it.
through a whole character change, like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a bad guy and he turned into a good guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he had a whole character arc that reached that epic climax, the Code of Hero,
Epic
where he
climax.
died. And it was sad and tragic. And the way he died was just when they realized that this was Earth and these were humans.
What kind of dinosaur was he?
Velociraptor.
Oh.
We just said that.
It'd been better if he was a T-Rex.
It was. He was defending the humans.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was defending the first valley where
Do you
humans
remember when
were
they
coming
became
around.
transmetals, though, in Beast Wars?
No.
Like when the second,
Was he a motorcycle or something?
No, they essentially brought him back. Like, they found his spark and, they took his body and, made, a new Dinobot that he went back to being a Predacon.
Oh, no.
Velociraptor isn't very big.
But he still ended up dying because he retained the memories and he had to fight to get them back.
Why would they choose a Velociraptor?
Because
they're
It was
awesome.
the 90s and everybody loved them with Jurassic Park. But you know what hated me during the Transmetal thing? When they killed off Pterosaur and Scorponok, in the most lamest ways possible, so they could just bring in 2 new Predacons instead of,
But a
keeping
Velociraptor
them
is no
around.
good by
But
itself.
it's why wouldn't you keep them around so you can make new action figures?
How did they die?
of
I
them?
forget.
they fell into lava.
Oh, during the after the arc,
Listen
what did
to
they take
me.
off in
They
the
were
arc?
on like these hoverboards and everything like that, and they crashed into each other and fell into lava.
I could not believe Waspinator survived.
Oh, and I can't believe it either.
Oh my
He
god!
was the lamest character ever.
Waspinator was made it back.
Waspinator was the
Cybertron.
Butters of Transformers Beast Wars
Oh
characters.
my god!
And
Butters
he-
is awesome. I don't know what you're trying to say.
But
he was
they
so
should do
lame,
South Park
and all they did was
Transformers.
pick on him, and he ended up being in Beast Machines still. and-
Poor Waspinator, and that's who they thought was Falcron. Black Widow's lover was
yeah,
actually
Black Arachnia.
Yeah.
She thought that Silverbolt was really this person, and it was not. No,
It was Waspinator.
Yes,
Oh my
Waspinator.
And really, Waspinator was in that one, but like Silverbolt was in the one that you just wouldn't expect.
And that's time.
All right, good job, guys.
So, and what you weren't listening to is velociraptors are no good by themselves. You have to have
They-
many
that's why
velociraptors
They
in
have
order
to
to do any
travel in a
damage.
pack, and they have to have
he
a T-Rex.
saved all of us by himself.
They have
sir.
to have a T-Rex to answer to.
Dinobot is a hero to all of us.
Yes.
I'm right.
And you need
So
Chris
for
Pratt.
all of you that really need to watch that episode,
Transforming
to, like, realize
Chris
the importance
Pratt.
of it, it's Code of Hero. Code of Hero.
YouTube it. It's worth the view.
It is 25 minutes of your life that you'll be happy that you watched.
Good
So
recommendation. I'm going to go watch it right now.
Okay.
All right,
I'm
well,
gonna
that's
go
the
home and watch
show.
Yay!
You can get extra stuff on our Patreon.
Search
just
for Podcast 42
Yep.
on Patreon.
lots of extra episodes, including the one that Faraz talked about tonight with the burgers. Lots of extra audio. There's a couple sound checks up there that are pretty funny.
There are scripts.
And yep, if you like
With-
anything that you've heard script wise, you can read it. It doesn't have our colorful commentary on it, but it's a straight up script.
It's a little easier to follow if you find that our commentary is kind of squirreled.
Our commentary is never squirreled. We're on point all the time.
Always.
Such as talking about Degrassi in a Transformers episode.
Yes.
Wait till I talk about Transformers in the Degrassi episode.
You'll get 3 minutes.
That is fine.
And you can catch us on all the podcast stuff that you can catch everywhere. If you listen to us on Spreaker, that's most appreciated because we actually get paid if you listen to us on Spreaker.
Yeah, but you could find us anywhere, almost anywhere you find podcasts except for Spotify because they don't like us.
Nope.
That's okay.
Nicole's
Maybe
fault.
one day they'll turn around.
And
It's not
also,
my fault. Why is it my fault?
Because you keep telling them how they don't like us.
They
I
just-
didn't lose a Spotify. I never once dissed them.
We didn't
No.
have
I've never
Spotify,
dissed
so we
them
didn't
either,
lose
you know,
Spotify.
they're very. I don't know. I know what the problem is.
I've dissed many companies on this show, but never
That is
Spotify.
really true.
And then if you want to catch us live, we usually do a live show Monday nights around 9 o'clock, and you can catch that on Spreaker as well. Mm-hmm. I think that wraps it up. Who are you guys?
I'm Nicole Fasone.
Me still Grimlock.
And I'm Faraz. Hey.
And I'm Christopher DeVos, because I have a last name.
Podcast 42, roll out.
Bye.
Fare thee well.
What's with the fare thee well?
You are no longer listening to Podcast 42.
Some of the stuff you just heard might have been embellished, made up, or just plain incorrect. In other words, don't use this show to write a book report with. You will get a bad grade. Just like all the hosts.
But I'm not done yet.
JL's Beer Cooler is written and performed by Cremo. Cremo is an award-winning actor and musician. For all things Cremo, including more great music, visit Cremo.com. That's spelled Craymo. He is on Twitter at Cremo. Facebook, just search Cremo Music, and also on YouTube under, you guessed it, Cremo.